What's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 21 of The Converted Podcast. I am Bel Schnickel, your host, and with me I have special guest host, everyone knows and loves, Katacodex. Kata, what is going on, girl? How you doing?
Not so much. And in this episode, we have CTR's premier 25-man team, the Salad Senate. Really stoked to have them. And Sal decides to ditch us for the big city. And the latest CTR town hall meeting dropped some changes for all of us. So we're going to be talking about all that. It's going to be lots of fun.
It sounds good. It sounds good, man. So how you been, man? We had you on the show a few weeks ago. It's probably been, a couple months, right? I'm not sure what episode that was.
I think it was episode 14 that I was on.
Okay. And how you been doing?
I've been doing good. I actually switched raid teams, and now I raid with this. You would not believe this guy. He is this disc priest, and he just yells at us all the time. I think his name might be Bel Schnickel.
You know, no one would believe that because I am even kill. I don't yell. I keep it Schnickel, man. But it's I gotta say, it is awesome to have you on the team. Like it's been good. You know, it's been really good. It's been fun, man. I'm loving it. So that's good stuff, man. It's good stuff. It's
just such a great group of guys. It's all guys except for me, and they are just hilarious. But like when we need to get the job done, we get the job done, and it's just been really great. It's been really fun for me, and like I've just enjoyed it a lot, and getting to hang out with you all the time is great too.
Hey, it's all fun, man. It's all good. So hey, I gotta say before we get started, thanks for stepping up, man. For stepping up and filling in for Sal this week.
I hope you're proud. I love me some Sal, and I hope I can fill her shoes well. Just this week though, just once.
Hey man, you do fine. Yeah. So this weekend, I would ask you about your weekend well, but I pretty much know at least some of it, from our raid last night. Are you doing anything else besides raiding right now? What have you been doing in game lately?
My main side project besides raiding is my main focus, but my side project at the moment is working on my warlock, and her name is Cataclysm with a K, because that's just how I roll. It's an awesome name. It was gifted to me by Rhett, so yay Rhett. And so I've just been working on her, and I actually got her from level 72 to level 82 in like a week. Not because I've been trying really hard, but there's been a bunch of experience buffs going down right now. And on Sunday, there were 3 going at once. And so I was managing to jump like 5 levels in like 2 hours because of those experience bumps. So thanks, Blizzard. Yeah.
Thanks, Blizzard. Yeah. That's awesome. Mm-hmm. Well, listen, man, real quick, before we get into the interview, because we got a great interview going on with St. Jim from the Salad Senate. But, I'm hearing from people, and I talked to Jim earlier about people like saying that I don't show enough love to our team. People from the team, you know what I'm saying that, hey, Schneck, you're not showing us any love. You don't give us any love. They've even said something like, man, too bad we don't have a guy like on the Converted to kind of give us some love every now and then. You know what I mean? Just little jabs. So now that you're here and I'm here and we're both on the same team, show some love to the peeps, man, and we'll show some love because right now they're just they're hating a little bit.
We will definitely show them some love, and they were whining to me too that they're not, but they've got to know that we're going to give them some love this week. And I love our team. I think our team is great. I personally talk to the DPS probably the most, and the person I talk to the absolute most is Rex, our lovely DK, who is constantly trying to fight me on the meters. And losing most of the time.
It's healthy. It's healthy competition, man. And it's good for the team,
Mm-hmm. It's very healthy, and we love us some Rex. He's so helpful. And then Trace, our warlock, is the only one that does beat me in the meters. Our strong silent type.
And the thing about Trace doesn't say much. Like he just dominates. So does his thing. He's on top of his game, but he only speaks like if you say something to him, like you're like, hey Trace, can you do this? Yeah, sure. Or, hey, Trace, can we get some rocks? Yeah, sure. You know what I mean? He doesn't say much, but he brings it every week.
He's so nice. He's so nice because I asked him about helping me with my warlock. He's like, yeah, sure, anytime. Just let me know. Like, he's so friendly, but he's just he's very focused when we raid.
If you're out there and you guys have a warlock and you want some tips, hit up Trace and just talk to him. Nice guy, and he'll help you out, man. This guy, he's really good. He's really good.
And his numbers are insane right now. Like, they're so good. Yeah. I'm jealous. I'm jealous of them right now. Not gonna lie.
You got work to do, man. If you can't catch up to Trace.
I think I can do it. I think I can manage. I am a mage, so I mean.
We also got Batman.
Batman. Oh, okay. So there's a story about that. His name is actually Tolko. He is one of our we have 2 shamans. So one of our shamans. He's our DPS shaman, and the first time I ever raided with you guys, this voice just comes out of Mumble, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm raiding with Batman. He sounds just like Batman, like Christian Bale Batman. He sounds just like him. It is the best. So now I call him Batman, and it's just taken. Like, he just says Batman things sometimes. It's amazing. Like, everybody should be jealous because I'm raiding with Batman.
His name is Tolko. If you guys are ever in Mumble, we raid on Wednesday nights at 6:30 server. If you want to come in around 6:15 and hear Batman for yourself, he's an awesome guy. He's a great player. And it's funny because nobody
for you.
until you joined our team, I never put it together. And I love Batman. You know what I'm saying?
That's because y'all are guys, and y'all needed the woman's touch to come in to just
like,
notice these little things.
Is that Batman?
I'm raiding with Batman, guys. Oh, it's so great. Yeah, so he's super fun. And then next up on our DPS, we have Tank. And Tank, his name in our team is the Floor Tank. And
he's a rogue. For the listeners, he's a rogue.
And he hangs out on the floor for us and just keeps our morale up. He is hilarious.
He's sexy. He's all about the sexy.
Yes, he talks relentlessly about how sexy he is. He's really good at face pulling on the boss, especially Mercius.
Yeah. That got old kind of quick.
A little bit. But he makes up for it in his charm. He's pretty charming, and he makes the raid fun. He really does.
And I've known Tank. Tank is one of my real life buddies. We went to college together. I've known Tank and another one of the guys we'll talk about in a second for a long time. But he's a great guy. He's fun, and he does his rogue stuff, man. He's always got the rogue stuff on lock. So.
Mm-hmm. And we're getting him some good gear. He's got some good stuff dropping lately. That new dagger he's got, that's really helped him out a lot. And then last, but certainly not least, we have. Oh man,
there's more. Well, no, you got the DPS. You have yourself. You got Rex, Tank, Tolko.
Yeah, I was including me. Yeah, we've got it. And then you can talk about the healers because that's your area.
All right, starting for the win raid team. We got obviously myself healing on disc. I'm doing my thing. We've got Wrist, the monk, and Wrist is one of those guys. He's a hardcore PvP player, and but he raids with us once a week. If he's not raiding with us, he's either playing Hearthstone.
He's a hardcore Hearthstone player.
Yeah, but he also does a lot of PvP. But yeah, he's playing Hearthstone, and I've been kind of addicted to that myself lately. But he's awesome. And then we have Zepeto, who's our swing healer. He's a resto shaman, and he's actually really good. Like, his DPS is actually really good. When he switches, you don't lose anything.
It's awesome.
Yeah, he's a really good healer and awesome deeps. And he's also kind of soft spoken, doesn't say a whole lot, but he's funny. I got to meet him at BlizzCon, which is really cool. We got to hang out a little bit.
About that.
Yeah, so that was really cool.
That's crazy. And like, Zap is he's so versatile. Yeah. And that's what I think every 10-man needs, that versatile player that can be like, oh, okay, you need me to heal? I'm going to heal. And that's going to be really good. Oh, you need a DPS? I'm going to DPS. And it's going to be really good.
Yeah, you're not losing anything where it's like, well, he's like half a DPS when he switches. No, he's just as good as all our deeps. He puts up the numbers.
Full-fledged. Yeah, so he really does.
It helps our team a lot.
Mm-hmm. And then our illustrious tanks, who definitely need a mention. Shifting. We have 2 druid tanks, just so y'all know.
We're the only team in CTR. I bet you anything that has 2 bear tanks since Mogushan. No, not since. No, I'm sorry. Shifting came in during Heart of Fear, but we've had 2 bear tanks all the way from Heart of Fear until Siege, and they're just 2 bear butts. It's all you see, and they're just doing their thing, man, just clawing at the bosses and stuff.
Mm-hmm. It's so funny, actually. In what was it, Shaw of Pride, when they have to when they step back onto the to release people from prison, you just see 2 bears just wander over and stand on the thing, let you out of prison. It's really funny to have 2 druid tanking for you, and that Shifting is one of them, and he's a really funny guy. He's from Canada, but he has like a really interesting accent, and so just out of nowhere you hear this really cool accent come out of nowhere, and that's always fun. And he actually helps us do flexors and stuff too. He's really helpful. He's one of those guys that you can call in anytime, and he'll help you with a raid and stuff. And then you know more about Hot Tub because he is another one of your college buddies.
Yeah, Hot Tub's our other tank. Another one of my college buddies. Him and Tank, went to college together, and he's a great tank. And he, we started out healing. He was a restorer druid for a long time, and he's tanking is good, man. And they have a good synergy going on. Him and Shifting. So once they go over the strats and stuff, I don't even worry about those guys. They got the taunts down. They're doing their thing, and it's good stuff. And they're just going back and forth. And I don't have to worry about them. You know what I mean? They figured out, I'm sure they're talking, the whispers and stuff and kind of figured out what they're doing. But that's our team, man. That's for the win, and it's a great team. And we're showing you some love. So I never want to hear ever again that you got no love from the Converted Podcast. Because I love you guys,
they're just going to give me credit for it, right, though?
Well, they're going to say it's because Kata was there, which is cool.
Yeah,
that's fine.
I showed up.
I'm
fine with that.
Well, Sal would never let me talk about my team this long. We're about 10 minutes in, and it's been all about for the win, but that's okay. That's okay, because...
we're highlighting a raid team in the guild. So, I mean, why not represent the two hosts team in the same episode?
That's
I
right.
think it's
That's right.
It's a great moment for.
And we're gonna do what we want tonight, Kata. We're gonna do what we want tonight.
Exactly, and I'll apologize to Sal later.
All right. Well, listen, we got a good interview for you guys coming up. We got to talk to St. Jim from the Salad Senate. Great interview. Great guy. That team has been around since the very beginning, and it was a great time. So we're gonna put you guys over to that, let you guys listen to that and watch that, and we'll see you guys on the other side. All right, everybody. We got St. Jim. And he is known as Saint whatever, man. This guy is Saint across the board. You might see him in game from the Salad Senate, man. We're excited. We're fired up to have you here, man. How you feeling tonight, dude?
I'm feeling great. First of all, hashtag Tickle Nation.
Yes, sir, man. This guy is a representative, man. I love this guy. I love it. That's good.
How's it going?
Good, man. Hey, I'm liking your shirt, man. You got the Alliance thing going on there?
Thank you. Yeah, Alliance jacket. You know, it's funny. I'm a school teacher, and my school is the Gold and Blue Lions.
Okay, well.
This jacket doesn't say Warcraft or Alliance or anything on it anywhere. It's just got the little insignia. Mm-hmm. So I wear this to school events.
And they're like, wow, look at our teacher, man. He's representing us, man. That's awesome.
Like my school jacket.
I bet all the kids are like, I want that. I need that.
He's at sporting events, and he's like, yeah, represent.
Yeah. For the
it's funny because some of my kids, they either play or they're interested in Warcraft, and they know. So they're like, Yeah. It's just kind of a funny thing.
You just wink at them and keep walking by like, shh.
That must make you like the really cool teacher to like know about Warcraft, because like that must be your thing. Like, that's the cool guy that plays Warcraft. Yeah.
Actually, some of my kids do watch. They either watch our live stream or they'll watch the highlight videos.
Wow, so awesome.
That is so cool.
You gotta tell them to watch the show, man. They can catch you in action, man. See you in the hot seat.
That's your thing.
So the Salad Senate, man, you guys have been around since the beginning, man. I remember like it seems like every guest we've ever had on the show and everybody that I've ever seen in game, like literally every person was there the first night that the Salad Senate ran. You know, it was in Mogashan. We wiped for like 4 or 5 hours. I might be exaggerating a little bit on the dogs. Were you there, man?
Maybe we did wipe quite a lot until Zug came in and basically told us to stop standing in bad.
Yeah.
And that seemed to work. So.
Yeah, man, I was there that first night, man. And it's like everybody was there.
Back in was at the end of February, beginning of March, and actually I wasn't there the very first week.
Mm-hmm.
The very first week the team formed. The team was actually formed by Sal and Susan, and then a third guy who ended up not showing up the first raid night. So we never heard from him again.
Wait, he never came back?
No, he never did.
Oh, wow.
It's kind of this funny thing where they're like, hey, let's start a team, and then he never showed up. So they just kept going with it. I was there, I think it was the second or third time they ever met together.
Okay.
But yeah, we started an MSV. Couple, it was a good while into after MSV had been released. So we ended up a little behind raid schedule, but we finally got, our first kill for the End of Throne of Thunder happened on the week Siege of Orgrimmar was released. So
okay,
we're back on schedule now, and I've been doing really well. Like it's been going great.
That's awesome.
I remember when y'all downed Lei Shen. That was an epic moment in our guild. I swear, guild chat blew up. And they're like, oh my gosh, the Senators, they got it. They got
it's the first 25-man kill Lei Shen in the guild. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
We actually have most of the guild first 25-man achievements, but we're kind of the few of the proud, so.
Yes, y'all really are. And I remember that was the same week that Belle and I were trying to kill Lei Shen, and I was so jealous. And then I remember I was sitting there talking to a couple of the Salad Senate afterwards, and I'm pretty sure that's the first time I heard like your name.
Yeah.
And then ever since then, I've heard your name everywhere, but I never saw you. Like, never saw you in game, never saw you in Mumble. I didn't think you existed, for real. And when they told me we were going to interview, I was like, good, I can get to know him, because I don't think he's real. So
yeah,
it's really good that you exist.
Have you been playing as much, man? Because I remember at the beginning of the guild, man, like your name was very prominent. Like people were always talking about St. Jim this, St. Jim that. Are you playing as much as before, or like what's changed, man? Because go ahead, man.
Yeah, I'm not playing quite as much as I have been.
Mm-hmm.
when I got into the guild, I actually was not working full time.
Okay.
And then this August, I got a job. I got a full time teaching job, and it's been taking a lot more of my time. But I'm still raiding every week. I'm still keeping up with my character and everything. Currently have 5 tunes max level. My main is my Discipline Priest, and I've been going on really well with that. One of my goals actually before the next expansion comes out is to have a full stable of level 90s. So we're going to see if I can make that happen.
Yo, that's pretty hardcore, bro. That's pretty hardcore.
I really enjoy leveling alts. It's just kind of something I do for fun. And
please level up mine. I will give you some alts to level.
Yeah.
No, so you're Saint like across the board. Like, so if we see somebody running around Saint something, more likely it's going to be you. More often than not, it's going to be you running around doing your thing.
Yeah, and funnily enough, there's somebody in the guild named Anti-Saint.
Oh wow!
And
you're nobody till you got a troll, bro. I'm telling you right now, you're nobody.
Well, no,
you got a troll.
I don't even know him. I just see his name pop up every once. I'm like, that's my nemesis.
That's right.
You'll need to run together sometime. That would be funny.
We just cancel each other out, right? Saint and Anti-Saint.
So go ahead, Kata.
Okay. So Saint Jim, that's the one that you actually raid off the South Senate, right? That's your disc priest?
Yes, that's my priest. I have Saint Magnus, a paladin. Saint Gerald is a druid. I have Saint Laney, mage. Saint Mabel, my warrior, and then a couple low levels. They're all Saint something. Anyway.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
And what are you guys working on now, man? Where are you guys at? Where is the Senate at right now?
Right now, we're working on our heroic garage kill.
Yeah. Okay.
No, we are. We just happen to be at Thok.
Okay.
On our way.
It's good. You gotta think ahead.
We're working on a heroic garage.
I was about to say, I was like, wait a minute. I would have heard a little bit more from that if that's where you guys were at. I'm sure I would have heard about that.
We got a spoils kill last week, and we're heading towards Thok. It's been this part of the raid has been really good. Part of the problem though is that it's so long to get there, and we're not a team that locks out very often. We try to refresh and everything, and having 25 people does take quite a long time to get everybody up. So we've been doing a lot of resets to make sure everybody's caught up to speed. So it's making our progress a little bit slower, but we're getting really quick on farm nights, and it's been really good.
How are you guys doing with attendance? Like, are you guys getting, like, out of the 25 people that are on roster or more, like, are you guys getting a pretty good amount to come back, or are you guys having a pug every week, or what's the deal with that?
We're generally having to tell people to sit out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we have a good list of alternates. Very, very good players that know that they want to do it every once in a while. Like, they're there to be alternates. It's been really nice having those people. But we have a solid 25-man roster that's been going for quite a while. That wasn't always the case. Kind of solidified, I guess, around the summertime. At the end of the summer, we started having very consistent attendance, and but rarely are we having to actually find a pug. And the really nice thing is that I have Susan, or Copperbolt. If you don't know her.
Yeah,
oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. She does most of that. She does the roster stuff for me. It's awesome. I basically get to just go in there and do strategy, and then raid calls. And I actually have somebody that helps you do that too. Nazgul is a co-raid leader with me, and he helps me out with calls and does some strat stuff. And we use a pretty solid officer corps for to manage a 25-man group. We have Susan, who runs the roster. She's kind of the team mom. And if when she hears me say that, she's gonna yell at me. It's okay. And then Nazgul is he's one of our Death Knights, and he helps a lot with doing calls in the middle of the fight, and he's really good awareness and things like that. And then we have Slick Rock, who's our DPS lead. Hunter, excellent player, very smart guy. And then our heals leader is Megacode.
Yes.
Managed to snipe from the Asparagus Initiative. So
he's a great guy, man. I got to meet him at BlizzCon, man. Really, really nice guy.
Oh yeah,
he's such a cool person. And I was on y'all's alternate list for a while, and it was actually Megacode who suggested that I check y'all out when I was looking for a raid team. Yeah. So he's representing y'all real well.
Yeah, he's a great guy. He loves it, man. He's one of our biggest advocates. It's really cool.
So you guys got it all delineated out. You know, you got people responsible for stuff. I mean, when you got 25 people, it'd be almost impossible for one person to do everything.
Oh, I mean, I can't imagine. I can't imagine just doing Susan's job. I mean, she's got crazy spreadsheets and a whole Dropbox folder full of information that I sift through every once in a while. But I mean, she busts her butt to make sure that we have a roster full every week and that everybody's happy, and she does an awesome job with it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about something that's been kind of controversial, and a lot of people talk about it. It's one of like the eternal debates, and really it doesn't have to be a debate because it's all subjective. But I want to talk about I know logistically it's tougher to get 25 people together than it is to get 10. Just sheer numbers, it makes sense. But in terms of the difficulty of the content, I mean, I'm sure you've done some 10 main rating at one point, and obviously you're doing 25 man now. Do you find a significant difference in the content in actually getting through bosses as a 25 man team versus 10? Where do you stand on that debate?
Personally, I'm of the opinion that 25 man in general is slightly harder.
Okay.
I wouldn't say it's nearly like a whole tier harder. Like it's not like 10 to 25 is normal to heroic. That would be ridiculous. Mm-hmm. But I will say that most of the time, 25 man is slightly harder. There's some exceptions. Horridon last year, for example, was definitely a lot easier. Generally, fights where you need interrupts and fights where you need huge cooldowns tend to be a little bit easier in 25 man because you have that available. And also fights where there's a mechanic where it's just going to one-shot one of your players. That tends to be a little easier in 25 man. It's a little more forgiving with death. Mm-hmm. You get 3 reses. And if you lose one, it's not as big of a hit as if you lose one in 10 man. However, the big thing that most people don't think about with 10 versus 25 is that the room that you fight in is the same size.
Right.
So, and there's more stuff on the floor.
There is a lot more poo. There's definitely
so I mean, like say in 10 man, a boss throws down 2 things on the floor, mm-hmm. and if you stand in those things, you die. Okay, now take that same amount of space, but now the boss does 5 of those pools.
Right.
And you still die if you stand in it.
Right.
Or, like, you have to maintain a spread. Everybody has to be 15 yards away from each other. Well, there's 25 people that all have to be 15 yards away from each other in the same space that it's already difficult to do when you have 10 people.
Okay.
And just some things like tanks take bigger hits in 25 man. The boss damage is just higher. Mm-hmm. There's more healing to
offset it. Yeah.
To offset it, but that big burst every once in a while makes it significantly more difficult. But one of the biggest reasons that I think 25 man is slightly harder is really from a raid leading standpoint. When if we have a mechanic that requires certain people to go in and do their thing individually, mm-hmm. That's a lot. That's just more people to keep up with. Like the first time we had to deal with that, and excuse me, pardon me, the weather down here crazy. The first time we had to deal with that was actually in MSD with Garajal. When we had to manage people going into the spirit realm, and mm-hmm. It's 25 different people, and it was really hard to keep up with. So what I did, I just started like looking back and just calling who, you go in, and that was my job for the fight. And that's actually how I ended up becoming the raid leader for this group. Is when we started, we didn't have one, and I just was the guy with the biggest mouth that ended up calling stuff all the time. So like, hey, let's make you the raid leader. And then there's more of that coming up in this tier. The fight, Nourishing. We have to manage people going in and out of the spirit realm. Mm-hmm. And that was actually a really difficult fight for us on progression. Where I've heard that a lot of 10-man teams weren't having issue with that. So, it's different. And I think because of the scale of it, it makes it slightly harder.
Do you find DPS check bosses are easier on 25? You know what I mean? Like those bosses in 10-man where you really hit that wall because you just don't have the numbers.
I think they're pretty similar. Okay. I mean, it's because the thing is, if you have to carry somebody, then you still have to do double that person's damage in order to carry them. And the same would be true in 10 man and 25. It's just it's scaled well enough that really doesn't become an issue with gear checks. And No, I really don't see that.
See, Kat is kind of quiet, and I think Kat is secretly disagreeing with you.
That's
But,
fine.
what do you think, Kat?
Honestly, from everything you've said, my opinion is might be changing a little bit because I've never thought about the room size. Especially, I was thinking about fights like Malkarak, where you only have those little pieces of the pie that you can stand in. That would be so hard with 25 people. And then spoils; those rooms are tiny, and fitting a bunch of people in there would be very difficult with all of the bad they put on the floor. So. I might be changing my opinion a little bit. I might get yelled at about this later on Twitter.
Well, there's no question when you do like an LFR or Flex and you do your 10-man, it just feels cleaner. You know what I mean? It's easier to move around. There's less stuff, and that makes sense.
And wrangling that many people and having that many people think on the same wavelength is going to be harder no matter what because everybody's thinking different things, thinking about their rotation. One person slips up, it makes a difference. So, yeah.
I mean, I think it would be easier to carry somebody in a 25-man team, though. I mean, like
I can see that. Yeah.
It's not that it's easier to carry. It's not that it's easier to carry a person in 25-man. It's that if you have two really good players, you can carry one average player.
So it's tuned enough where you'll notice if you got a couple DPS that just aren't pulling it. Okay.
Definitely, and we had that problem recently. Where we had some DPS that just weren't able to perform at the level the other ones were, and we were able to get in, give them a lot of help, and we noticed a huge spike in improvement when we had those couple of people that just didn't have quite the numbers of the rest, and we were able to bring them up to speed, and we were getting kills faster and faster. So we've definitely seen that where just one or two underperforming players can really kind of bring down the group. Yeah, and that's one of the common arguments I hear about against 25. It's like, oh, you can just carry people. It's really not the case.
Because I mean, I know with our team, we got 5 DPS, sometimes 6. We have a swing, and it's like you'll notice like in a 10-man team if you get stuck at a fight if someone's not pulling it. If one person's off, it can be the difference between a kill and a wipe. You know what I mean? So
Well, I mean, think about how many fight mechanics there are where one person making one mistake can wipe the whole group. Now, imagine that you have 25 people that can wipe the whole group instead of 10 people that can wipe the whole group.
Right.
So
no, there's no question. Logistically, there's just more to manage.
Yeah.
There's just definitely more to manage. So.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's people listening to the show right now that are like freaking out, thinking about all these different counter arguments. But I would say, it's one of those things. It can be argued upon all day. Anytime you have something like this that's so subjective. You can have people, what's better, Apple, Android? It's one, PC, Mac. You can have people forever just going back and forth, and you really don't get anywhere. But it's good to talk about. It's interesting,
One thing I will say is I'm very glad that they're standardizing it next expansion, because it's actually caused some problems, especially I've noticed in balancing healing classes. Because all I've heard for the whole, all of Mists of Pandaria is how overpowered Discipline priests are.
Hey man, I'm Disc 2, man. Just leave us alone. Leave us alone.
And I will tell you, in 10-man, Disc priests are crazy overpowered. In 25-man, not so much.
Hey, listen, don't
fact,
like
right
that,
now,
talk like that.
Don't tell him. Don't tell him.
Right now,
we're getting alive in our raid. No.
Well, no, it's great because the thing is, in 10-man, a Disc priest can spirit shell the entire raid, no problem.
Easy.
But you can only do 5 people at a time. So I can't even, especially now with the nerf to the duration of Spirit Shell, I can't even get a bubble on every player on the team.
How many Spirit Shells are you getting off? Are you getting off 3?
I don't use Spirit Shell.
Oh.
I don't use it. It's not worth it.
Wow.
It's really not.
That's blasphemy.
Every once in a while, if there's a specific mechanic where, I really need it, I'll use it on a single target. I don't blanket Spirit Shell stuff. Now, we had previously, our other priests had been playing Disc, and we had a system where we'd each take half of the raid, and we'd shell them, and that worked pretty well. But now she's gone holy, and I'm the only Disc priest left on the team. I find myself hardly ever using Spirit Shell.
Are you doing mostly tank healing, or you got
mostly tank?
Okay.
Yeah. The thing is, the way they've changed the talents for 5.4, we were able to get off the free double powered shield anytime we want to. It's been really, really helpful. That I'll just keep powered shield prayer mending on the tanks at all times, and then I'll use my atonement healing for the rest of it. And part of the reason I can do that is that our healing core is amazing. We have Mega Code.
Mm-hmm. Who is hardcore, man? Yeah, he's hardcore.
And then we have 2 druids that are druids in 25 man right now are insane.
Well, when they got that with the cloak too, man. All that overhealing action just going everywhere. Man, it's not even fair. It's not right.
It's broken. It's so broken.
They need to be nerfed. If you're gonna nerf anybody, leave the disc priest alone and nerf the resto druids.
As a DPS, this is hilarious to listen to because I'm just like, I don't care, just heal me, like just as long as I'm staying alive.
Like the only thing that hurts is like, you know, I'm not at the top of the meters like I used to be, which is not a problem. I mean, it's healing. The goal, like if everybody's alive, or actually with healing, if the boss is dead at the end of the fight, healers have done their job.
That's it. Yeah,
that's it. Like that's the entire goal. Is the boss dead? Okay, the healers did good. But you know, it was just nice to see every once in a while. Hey, there's white at the top of the list. Yes. You know?
Now it's like brown, pink.
God,
right. Yeah.
And that's the paladins have been so strong this entire time, and just I haven't been feeling like as a discipline priest. I've had 2 or 3 fights where I did really, really well, and just every other one I've been completely outclassed by some of the other specs, just because, you know, if you made discipline priests any stronger in 25 man, they'd be absolutely broken in 10 man. Right. So there's been some balance issues because of the size difference, and it's been almost on the level of PvE versus PvP. You know, where that's caused problems before. Well, this ability was overpowered in PvP, so we had to nerf it. Now it's useless. Same thing. 10 to 25 man. And you know, there've been easy ways to fix it that they haven't done. I've always thought that if you made Holy Nova, if you made that a Spirit Shell granting ability, that would fix it for 25 man.
Oh, wow.
But like this, we have no cooldowns for the group other than Barrier. And like we don't have a big heal,
right?
You know, like every other class, there's Uplift or Trank or Divine Hymn or SLT.
I miss him, man. I miss that Divine Hymn. That was nice. That was holy for a long time.
Yeah.
No, what's the Senate? Where are you guys going next year? What's your plan? Do you guys have any plans? You guys just gonna keep doing your thing? 25? You guys gonna try to dabble in the little mythic rating stuff, or what are you guys thinking for the future? Do you have any plans, or are you guys just rolling right now with what you got, and then you'll think about that stuff later?
We want to end up mythic. We really do. Right now, our goal for this tier is to get heroic content done. We want to do that, and we want to do that as soon as we can. Now, the thing is, though, we're not going to sacrifice our core values to do that. We've always been a very casual team with very talented players, and we used to only raid 3 hours a week, rather. We only recently switched to doing 2 nights a week. So we're moving faster than we have before. We want to see heroics happen. The next tier, we want to see mythics happen. I think it's a good goal for us. I think it's somewhere where we can definitely be. I think it would be an appropriate challenge for us.
So you guys think you'll have just 20 core and have like 5 kind of just sit and kind of fill in as needed, or?
I mean, the thing is, we do one thing we do as a 25 man. We experience more turnover than a 10 man. You know, but we have, just because there's more variables to have turnover. Sure. But you know, by then, the team will likely not look exactly like it does now, and probably won't be a problem to 20 people, you know. But yeah, I think that's a good long-term goal for us. We definitely want to do that. We want to be challenging ourselves, and at the same time, we want to be having fun while we're doing it. You know, we're never going to be a Blood Legion team. We're never going to be a Method team. But we want to be challenging ourselves and doing content that is fun for us, and doing content that is, you know, worthy of the challenge.
Definitely.
Right now, we're really satisfied with being, you know, we're the premier 25-man guild, 25-man team in the Convert to Raid guild. There's no competition though. I mean. And not to say that, you know, the other 25-man teams, they're great. We've just been around a lot.
You guys have been around since the beginning. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was in the second week of the guild's existence, and then we started, I think, a month after the guild was born. You know, so I mean, we've been around for a very long time. We've been able to get that solid roster down, because that is a huge challenge when you start a raid team. Even a 10-man is getting a roster that is solid.
Now, Saint, Sal. Obviously, Sal's my co-host on a regular basis. She's always repping the Senate. Do you have anything embarrassing or like that she would not want to know that we can just blow her up right now? She's in New York. She couldn't be here today. You got to have some Sal story. You have to have something. You can't come here and not have something.
I'm sorry, Sal.
Right.
I'm not part of this.
First of all, Sal, Ghost Wolf. She'll know what that means.
She'll know what that is, huh?
So one time we were playing. What I can't remember what boss it was now. Was it Narushan? I don't know. It was fairly recent, and no. It was on Lei Shen, and Sal was not with us that night. I think because she was recording the show, and she was watching us on stream, and then she typed something into the chat like, "Hold on, I'm going to go take a shower." And so while she was doing that, we ended up getting the kill. So now there's this big thing that, well, we're having trouble on a bus. Sal, go take a shower.
Just randomly, hey, Sal, listen, stop what you're doing. Go take a shower. Come back. We'll be fine.
Yeah, Sal, she's great.
That's awesome.
One thing, though, she is abusive to her pets.
Her pets in real life or her pets in... Well, she doesn't have pets in game.
No, her pets in game. Her pets in game. She,
Get peed on.
I gave her a G-Kun hatchling pet one time.
Okay.
As a thank you for being a raid officer and things like that. And she named it Trent, which is my name in real life. And so every once in a while she'll just go off on an emote spree of she slaps Trent or she, make fun of Trent and all this stuff. And
That's awesome.
She's very, very rude.
That's fantastic.
We've developed some really good, like the whole team has had some really good little inside jokes and things like that. Like, listening to our live stream, you'd think we're really mean to our co-raid leader Naz, because one of the big things is Naz push the damn button, and one night like his mouse failed on him, so he wasn't able to click the button, and we ended up wiping on G-Kun. He's also known as the Tornado because he decided to demonstrate how the tornadoes moved in Iron Con, and just there's a lot of things that end up going on, and that's why I always think it's so funny that people say, well, you can't get close to people in a 25-man raid. Yes, you can. Absolutely, you can.
Well, and especially when you've been together for so long, it's like it's a family. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like
it is absolutely.
Okay. I've watched y'all stream, and y'all are definitely close. Y'all are a very mean, happy little family, but it's really, y'all are so entertaining to watch. That's definitely true. Just what's y'all's Twitch stream? Like, we need to,
pimp that out, man.
Pimp that out. We want everybody to see
that. It's twitch.tv/SolidSenate, and it's Sujin or Copperbolt's channel, actually. Mm-hmm. And Sujin, speaking of jokes like that, and, we make fun of her for being the team mom and stuff like that. But twice within the past couple months, she has accidentally disbanded the raid.
Oh, nice.
While we were in the middle of it. So now the joke is, don't make her mad. She will turn this raid right around.
That's right.
I will disband this raid.
I will disband this raid so fast.
Awesome. Oh, Copper.
I think that's actually one of the stream highlights is her disbanding the raid while we were getting ready for Malkorok. Not Malkorok. The dragon. Galapagos. That's one. The names in this tier are so confusing.
The names in general are confusing, man.
Yeah.
So listen, man, like it's a tall order, man, to start naming people on your team. And I'm not gonna ask you to do that unless you feel ready for that. That's a big deal. We got people that I usually come on the show and it's 10 people, and sometimes people even kind of struggle. I see people kind of cheating a little bit, looking around a little bit. Are you up for the challenge, Saint, or should we keep going, man? Are you up for this challenge?
Can I name everybody on my team?
Yeah, the core 25. I know you might have people that kind of come in one week and leave, but can you make this happen on the Converted right now without assistance? I mean, I know it's not easy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to pretend it's easy, but what you got, man? Can you do this?
All right. There's myself, Sujin, Mega, Goldie, Helia, Sidor, still up our tanks. Good guys. Rice, myself, Slick, Hannibal, Val, Furbala, Berserker, which Berserker is our supplier of all things metal. Once a week he does our weekly metal inspiration. Which is kind of our theme song for that week. There's Mephetic, a.k.a. Gray, a.k.a. that guy with the burqa. Nick, who's relatively new. Blaze, whatever healers. Grand, Hillbilly, Leonard. Winford, Howland, Alestra, Brillin, Yoro, Jared. Raven, Naz. Yendig is one of our subs. Dralfier, can't forget about him. Bruce. I think that's more than 25 at this point.
That's actually, I hate math. I think that might be 30.
Wow.
Oh yeah, well that might be.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's pretty good, bro. No, I'll give you props for that, man. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That
So,
was amazing.
So you heard it here, man. If anybody comes on this show in the future and can't name their 10, you've been made to look a fool by this guy. This guy just named 30
get you
people,
if you
man.
can't name your team. Because he just
awesome.
busted out everybody.
That's fantastic.
Well, thank you.
Well, listen, man. We could talk to you forever, man. You know, I'm sure I would love to just talk to you about just disc priesting and healing and all that stuff, man. But we got to keep rolling, man. But it's been great having you on, man. You've been a pleasant guest. It's always good to talk to people. And the Senate, man, Salad Senate, representing one of the original teams, man. It's good to have you guys on finally. You know, it took Sal taking a week off to get the Senate on here.
Which we've been giving Sal crap the whole time, is that she doesn't give her own team time on the show. So good.
I hear the same thing, man. I hear the same thing. But we got Kat out here today. It's me and Kat. We're on the same team, and we're gonna blow up our team today too, man. So
we're gonna represent the team, not as much as the Salad Senate, because it's all about you this week. But we're gonna mention our team, so they'll calm down.
Yeah, they're always hating. So, but hey, it's good to have you on, man. Good luck to you guys. Who knows? Maybe one day we'll get up in there with you guys on some pug night and do something, you know, or I don't know. We'll see if we can do something together sometime. It'd be good.
All right,
man. Well, you got St. Jim. You got any shout outs? Any shout outs real quick for anybody in particular, or you want to? You got a Twitter you want to pimp out or anything like that, or?
No. If you want to follow me on Twitter, it's at Trent's Music Blog. Which I use my real life name for everything. I don't care. Just my team again, which I already listed them, I guess, but my officers, thank you so much for making it possible for me to just get in and do strat and call things in there. Really appreciate it. Susan, I want to give her a special mention in particular, because she really like, if not for Susan, this team doesn't exist. Mm-hmm. She is the heart and soul of the team. She is absolutely the final say. She's just awesome. So thank you so much for what you do, Sal. Sorry I couldn't be here this week, but you know. Other than that, I think I've already said everything. Naz, thank you so much for stepping in recently and helping me raid lead. It's been really great. I think that's about it.
All right, man. Well, listen, again, thanks for coming on, and we'll look for you in game, man. Long live the Senate.
Absolutely.
Do your thing, man.
Thank you very much.
All right, thanks for coming on, man.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, man. What a great interview with St. Jim, man. That guy is awesome. I could have kept talking to him too, man. It's like we've been getting some good guests on this show, man. Interesting people, good dialogue, good stuff, man. That raid team sounds fun, and best of luck to the Senate. Mm-hmm. So, what do you got for us, Kata?
All right. I have several announcements. As a lot of y'all know, we had a huge town hall meeting last week, I think, with Zug and everybody and all the officers. And there was just a couple things that we need to make sure that gets out to everybody. So if you missed the town hall meeting, this is the Cliff Notes version for you. The first thing that I have is that, just to remind everybody, Mumble is for guildies only. And the new password to the Mumble will be in the guild info if you need that. The password has changed, so please make sure you go and check that. So for all of your Mumble needs. And there is some discussion on what the CTR Mumble could look like in the future. There is a forum post if you have an idea or anything about that. I would speak to one of the officers as well. There's also some big changes to the bank. Guild members wishing to deposit things into the bank, they need to send their items to a bank manager. Our access has been taken, so we cannot put things in there ourselves, so they have to be sent to a bank manager. I believe they're also looking for a couple other bank managers for the co-guilds, so if you are interested in that, check the forums, as well as talk to Solar or Lou. There's a new head of events. Our dear friend Red has stepped down, and now we have True Arts has stepped up, and he is taking over. So awesome. We're going to do something huge for the year anniversary of the guild. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. It's going to be so fun. And there's going to be a contest, and they're going to win a spectral tiger, which I will be participating in because I want that tiger. And just to clarify for everybody, we are not going to have a horde co-guild. We kind of feel like it goes against what CTR is trying to accomplish. We're trying to make a community. We don't want to separate out in different factions or different games. We want to focus on this Alliance guild. So keep it on the Alliance side, and we're not going to be worrying about the Horde right now. And everything has been discussed and gone over in the forums. If you need any more information, I really suggest you go watch the town hall meeting. It's on Twitch, and I believe it's on Zug's channel. It's twitch.tv/Zug. And also, obviously, go check the forums at convertraid.com. There's a ton of more information on there. And anything you could ever want is in that forums. So definitely go check that out.
Awesome. Good stuff. Now, we have some converted shout-outs to go through real quick. We got a couple today. We got one from Panderriere. He says, need to give a big shout-out to Ravenchrist for making me a Sky Golem. OMG, so awesome.
Wow.
That's awesome. That's fantastic.
I need to talk to Ravenchrist.
Yeah, we need to kind of like see who this guy is and maybe smooth talk him a little bit.
Exactly. And then we have another one from Sharku, and his shout out is to True Arts, which is our new events coordinator. Everybody needs to go welcome him on Twitter, at True Arts is his name, for helping me get the Learning Curve raid group better organized. That's pretty awesome that they must be working on a raid group, a Learning to Raid group, I think is what that's
awesome.
for.
That's a great idea.
So yeah. That's pretty cool. And since I don't always get the floor, I have a couple personal shout-outs that I wanted to throw out there. And I think I only have two right now. And the first one is to Boone. He raised with iron deficiency. Thanks so much for all of your help lately. If y'all don't know Boone, you need to get to know Boone. Boone is the man. He will help you out no matter what. I feel like I owe him a bajillion favors now. But seriously, Boone, you've been really great lately, and I really appreciate that. And my other shout out is to Sushi, another really super helpful guy in the guild. He also reigns with iron deficiency. He has been helping me out. He helped me work on my DPS, and he also helped me with some gold making, because that's kind of his...
Yeah, he's all about that.
Yeah, and he actually just released the first episode of his Closing Bell podcast, and it got approved by iTunes.
Oh, fantastic.
And, if you're interested in gold making, you definitely need to talk to Sushi or go check out his podcast.
So a new show, Closing Bell by a Guildie, by Sushi?
Yeah.
All right, look it up on iTunes. That's awesome.
You need to pimp that out. You need to go listen to it, pimp it out on Twitter, and go say hey to Sushi, because he's a really cool guy.
Fantastic. All right, and I got a shout out for Zagnut. I was on Twitter. You know, I go through like spurts in Twitter where I'll kind of be on there for a while and just kind of start going crazy. But Zagnut was on there, and I think he got the idea from Sushi, or we were kind of just talking a little bit about unleashing your inner schnickel.
Oh, I know.
And he actually made a T-shirt already.
I was tagged in those tweets, and my phone was blowing up.
It's
Apparently,
pretty awesome.
there's a need for the Tickle Nation shirt.
I want that shirt. Like, when he's done, he wants to get like this outline and stuff. When he gets that done, I am buying one, and I will wear it on an episode. That thing looks fantastic. So, big shout out to him, man. He's an awesome guy. Zagnut, really creative, really involved in the guild, and I got some love for that guy, man. I'm giving him a little shout out here on the Converted.
He's pretty awesome. I'm a big fan of him as well, and he's a mage, so.
Oh, mage power. There you go.
Also,
I have more bracelets left. I have a couple left. So if you guys did not get a bracelet or you want one, I'm wearing it today, the converted bracelet here. If you want one of these bad boys, you can DM me on Twitter, your address, or mail it to the convertedpodcast@gmail.com, and I'll send you one for free. I sent out one batch already. I know people have already gotten them. And I got another batch I'm sending out pretty soon. So if you want one, let me know. I have probably, I want to say maybe 10 to 15 left at the most. So let me know.
That's cool.
So that's pretty much it.
Yeah, and we just want to make sure everybody knows to make sure you leave reviews on iTunes.
Yes, do that.
Please do, because, I mean, we want to get the word out about the Converted Podcast, and especially as a fan of the Converted Podcast, I'm not always on here, so I definitely want to make sure everybody leaves them some reviews, gives them some love, and so we can make sure that everybody in the guild is listening to this amazing podcast.
Awesome. We got some YouTube comments. I'll do the first one. We got one from Keith Stanton. It says, great show. I keep meaning to comment, but hey, better late than never, right? I see you in game. So that's awesome, Keith. Thanks for saying something, man. That's cool. We'll look for you.
Yeah, we got another shout out from my girl Remedies, and she said, I'm 95% sure that I was the one who said to Belle, dude, that was Swifty. Can't wait to see Sal do the song for Berserker. So thanks for that, Rem.
We got one from Jessica Pautinen. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name. We got, thanks for the spotlight. Sauron's out of the room. Haha, love watching your show. That's awesome.
And then our last one is from Danced J2K2. And this one's pretty funny. And it says, Bell Schnickel going pantless. Classic. Keep up the great show.
That's awesome. that was actually kind of funny, that whole dialogue about that. I got one more thing here real quick too. We got an email from Lunar. In our converted Gmail, and it says number one, he has some questions for Darius. He says, how does it feel to be you? I bet it's pretty awesome. Number two, for Pat and Coltrane, how does it feel to every week bathe in the light that is Darius' greatness? And then he says, for all, why?
Darius?
You know, I got a question who this Lunar is, and then he says, for all, Why won't Blizzard allow triple spec? I can already be all three. It just takes going back to the main city, gold, and a lot of time to redo action bars and everything. Why not make it quicker for everyone to allow a third spec? And he says, thank you very much. Love the show. Lunar from the Casuals Raid team in the Convert to Raid Guild. He's got some serious man love for my man Darius, man.
Well, wasn't Darius on the Casuals? This seems a little suspect.
So, I saw that in the inbox, and I had to read it, so... That is what it is. And the triple spec thing, it's funny because I've thought about that before, as I've listened to other shows. And in my personal opinion, and at the end of the day, I really don't care a whole lot about it. They can do it. It's not going to affect me. But if you have triple specs, then why not? Why have any specs? Just say you can do whatever you want whenever you want. There's no decision to be made. You can be everything at the same time. I'm sure for like druids and stuff, it is kind of annoying because you can do all the roles. You know what I mean? You can tank, DPS, and heal. But it's something, I don't know. If you have all three specs, then why have any spec? Just pick your stuff and do whatever you want. I don't know.
Yeah, I can understand Blizzard maybe someday putting in a triple spec, but I know personally, from my standpoint, I wouldn't use it. And that's probably because as I play, my main is a mage, and so I'm pure DPS all the way. I don't really dabble much in healing or tanking, so a third spec really wouldn't do much for me.
Paladins, it'd be nice. For druids, it'd be nice. Those
it would be nice for those two classes, but then at the same time, I don't know, I think it would make it a little strange, but I'm sure Blizzard has their reasons, and we may see it in the future. We never know. We never thought we'd see player housing, and here it comes.
For PvPers too, it might be kind of nice to have your PvP spec and then be able to just switch between your two PvE specs if you wanted to. But I don't know, whatever.
That's another thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good question. Definitely.
Yeah.
All right, well, listen, guys, be sure to check us out next week when Sal's back in full force. She'll be in New York, so we'll see what she's looking like next 2 weeks from now. And you can find us at theconvertedpodcast.com. Check us out on Converted Podcast YouTube channel. And you can follow us on Twitter. You can find the show at converted_CTR. You can find me at Belschnickel CTR, all one word. And you can follow Kata at...
I am at Katacodex. And also, so even though Sal's not here, we got to pimp her Twitter too, And her Twitter is at SummerSal. Give her a shout out. Make sure she's feeling comfortable in the big city.
Fantastic.
Right, so thanks so much for having me. And thanks so much.
I got to say, man, thanks for coming on. It has been an absolute blast. We got to show some love to the raid teams. We finally don't have to hear about that anymore.
I know.
And it's been fun, man.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
I said they can't say anything to us anymore.
No.
We said all their names. We mentioned all of them.
That's right. You should have some love.
We gave the Senate a ton of love with St. Jim. We nailed it.
No, it was a fun show. Thanks for coming on. I appreciate your time and everything. And I look forward to playing more with you in the future, in game.
Awesome.
All right, guys. Take care. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks. And be well. All right.
All right. Thanks for watching, guys.
All right. Bye-bye.
This podcast is a part of the Signals Media All-Star Network. For more information on this and other fine shows, go to signalsmedia.com. It's okay to stick our stuff in your ears. Really.